Yo, what's up guys? Zeus here with another video, and this is a different kind of video. As you can tell, it's more, I guess this is more of just a one-to-one heart-to-heart kind of video. I'm mainly just doing this as a form of therapy for myself. I don't know, I just like sometimes talking to myself, aka, or talking to you, the viewer, can be a bit therapeutic, just to help me process my own emotions and process just how I've been feeling over the last couple of months regarding IDV as a whole and whatnot, and just how I feel in general with the game, channel, etc. All this stuff. So yeah, this is not really gonna have anything. This is just like, if you want to listen, if you want to just keep this on the background while you do something. Yes, you, the person who's drawing a commission right now, in the background while you're getting your stylus and whatnot and opening up IBS Paint. Yeah, this is for you guys, so that way then you have something to listen in the background as white noise. I know. Or maybe you're, on a walk to school or something. But yeah. Um, I just mainly want to speak just with myself, I guess. I don't know. As of recently, I have been more or less on a decline with IDV, I suppose. Like, I am kind of in a weird limbo state with IDV right now, where I want to keep playing the game because I really do have a love and passion for the game. But at the same time, I'm also kind of like, how much longer am I gonna keep doing this? And am I gonna be happy doing this in the long run, you know? And this isn't to say that I'm quitting making IDV content, because I'm not, but I am kind of like, I feel like I'm running out of gas sooner rather than later, you know? And I don't really know how to feel about that. I'm kind of just here. Sorry, Abby. I'm kind of just here stuck doing this endless cycle of, like, I get on IDV, go on, I play ranked, I do, my little things, grind up, watch out for watch comp, study IVL, study IJL, study COA, study IVT, study IVS, get all these videos out, record rank, play with Hikaru, Santi, Z's, and all the other guys, and the CC's and whatnot, and at a certain point it kind of gets not repetitive, but it does get, how do I describe this, because it's not like it's getting repetitive, even though, like, obviously what I stated is, a bunch of repetition, but it's just like, it's a feeling of, it feels empty at a time. Like, beforehand I used to watch COA and IVL, IJL, to study, to hardcore study how these professionals play. And now do, but now it's more so of like, okay, do I, like, I don't even watch like COA, IVL, IJL that often, unless it's to record a video practically, or unless I really do have the free time to study what they're doing and just retain the information. And it's kind of like, my only thing with IDV is, I want to do competitive. I want to, make it all the way, go to COA, all that fun stuff. And this year was, the year, quote unquote, for GSL. We ended off in third place before the second to last day, where we dropped all the way down to ninth. And on that day, it was a very depressing day to go from third place to ninth in that final hour. It was kind of like it didn't feel real. And that, I feel, is kind of still affecting me, I guess, that kind of like upset, that anger and that frustration with myself and whatnot. Because it's like, I don't know, like, I always try to play to a standard. I always want to play to a certain standard because that's the standard I hold for myself, and that's the standard that I hold to other people when I play. Like, it's why, people feel so strongly about me with the things that I say, because I myself can't hold myself to my own standard sometimes, but it's the standard that I have because in my eyes, that's the level I need to be at if I want to be on the stage with all these other big names and big teams who have made it this far. And it gets to a point where it's like I start feeling where it's like, is this really achievable? Like, there are times where I really think to myself, like, as hard as I work, as hard as I try, is there even a mean to this? Like, is there a means to an end? Is this worth all the time I'm investing, or am I just wasting my time, and should I just stop while I'm ahead? And a part of me feels like I do want to stop while I'm ahead, but a part of me also feels like I don't, because I still do want to push out. And it just leaves me in a rough spot when it comes for content, because as of recently I haven't really felt motivated to do anything IDV related that isn't like recording a video with Zeus or like streaming a rank session every now and again. Like, I really have been avoiding IDV for a bit, more or less, and trying to hide it under the illusion of, oh, it's just, like, I have homework, or I have something else to do, or I have, some other shit going on. And that thing of like endless emptiness is just still there and absorbing me, I guess. It's really weird. I don't know myself how my feelings are really being processed right now through my own mind, but it's like I don't really know like what's going on, or like how I'm really feeling about IDV like right now, to be honest. And it's been on my mind for a couple months now. It's been on my mind for 2 months, since, the events of Koa 8, but then also the certain case of, like, it's also been like back in my mind again after recently getting back into playing Hunter rank, because I hold myself to a certain standard. And during Hunter rank, like, like, I haven't played Hunter in 2 years. It's a different meta. Like, I'm washed. Like, I'm washed Hunter. I'm not who I was 2 years ago when I was a Hunter main. So obviously I'm struggling to adjust to the new meta and whatnot, because I haven't played, I don't have as much practice or fundamentals as the people that have been playing for the 2 years that I was not playing Hunter. But I still want to be performing at that level. And for me, if I can't form and perform at that level, it makes me question of why am I even then doing this? Why do I have the platform that I have if I can't meet to the own standard that I want to push out on my platform? So it kind of just drives me into a state of like, oh, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. And as big as a game I talk, because we all know this, like, I talk a big game when I'm like confident and whatnot, but if you watch my content, you all know that like I am the most self-critical person of myself. And it's when I make even the slightest mistake, especially in the comp world, it's like my whole world falls apart, because I really don't want to allow myself to even make a mistake. I don't want to make mistakes, because for me in comp, if I make a mistake, then that could be the end of everything. And I don't want it to be the end of everything. But right now, it's low-key kind of feeling like the end of everything, I guess, after what happened during Koa 8. And it's crazy, like, it's been driving me a little bit insane, and I've been like repressing it for as long as I can, but like it's been showing like recently through streams. Like, I think like for the last like 3 streams, like, you can definitely tell that like my energy and like my mind has like been somewhere else. It hasn't been fully to the game. Even when I'm recording videos with Z's, will be these times where I just sit there in silence for like 10 seconds before I check back in, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm recording a video. I can't let him just sit there and talk to himself. And it's like those moments are kind of like what push me over a little bit, of like making me think, why am I still doing this? Like, what is really motivating me anymore? Like, what's going on with me internally that is driving me to this point? And truth be told, I don't know. Like, I have a passion for the game, but it also feels like that passion is driven by something that isn't, care at times. Like, I don't know if I would call it like addiction, because obviously, like, if I can go days without playing the game and I'm fine, then it's not an addiction. But it's more like, I guess, like, it's just like a chore, maybe. A chore, probably. Like, gotta do this, gotta do that. But it's a really weird feeling that I don't know how to describe. And I feel like it's affecting me, and it's affecting my content, and it's affecting, you know, how people perceive my content, I guess, because of how I'm acting recently. Maybe, I don't know, again, maybe this is just a thing of me being too deep in my own head, but I don't really know what's going on, more or less. It's just, I know it's going on. I don't know why really it's going on, which is like why I just got here on camera to just talk, because maybe through talking I could like figure something out, like if we hear it come out of our own mouths, we can then process it, and listen to it back again. It's a kind of a form of journaling, I guess. Yeah, no, a form of journaling, maybe. Yeah, this would be a counting of journaling. Yeah, but I think Koa 8 just had me. This just got me like really fucked up. I've been trying for Koa for 4 years. I tried for Koa 4, 5, 6, 7, and now 8. So that's 5 Koas, yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, and now 8, yeah. So I've tried for 5 Koas. And this one, it's oh Jesus, man. This one is hurting the most. And it's more of a like of I just like how it all went like that, and I want to just push back onto that standard of like why I am the way I am, because I always want to be the best. I'm always competitive in everything I do. I always want to push myself through. And I feel like that level of pushing clashes with me as a content creator, which is brings me on to the second thing I kind of like semi, pre-established in my head of what I want to go on into the video of me versus my content, you know? It's no surprise that people don't like me. I don't really care if people don't like me. I know people who literally like make it their whole personality and like are proud, like they wear it like a badge of honor. Yeah, I don't like Zeus. Yeah, I hate Zeus. Zeus is a horrible human being. Yeah, fuck Zeus. They wear that shit like it is a medal. They put that shit plastered all over them. And I really don't care, but it's at the same time where it's really fucking tiring to have some random shit come up and you don't even know what the fuck is going on. Like, I think the most recent thing, and trigger warning for essay and all this extra shit coming up, because that example is that graphic. um as of like, it was like maybe 2 weeks ago that some random ass bitch made a fake and edited thread of Pearl saying how I condoned and sent Pearl to send them rape threats. Just straight up, blatantly, like that. Just all out there. If you didn't know, if you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen it. If you didn't know, yeah, it just straight like that. Edited screenshots mentioned me and Pearl tagged us in the post and everything and said all that crazy shit. And it's kind of like it like really makes me sit back, and it's like I love my community, I really do, but like what the fuck? Like I'm trying to, like, you know, make content for a game that, you know, a lot of people like, and a lot of people, you know, enjoy watching, etc. But it's like when shit like this happens, it's like, are they aware that this could like be deathly serious? It drives me to like, why do I bother? Like, why? If people are gonna go to such extremes, like, dude, like, I feel like there might be some people that are like, oh, it's the internet, you know, you shouldn't care. But it's like, do you understand that, like, how detrimental that shit could be? Like, someone could like genuinely take that seriously and like pursue legal action against me if like that shit like didn't if I didn't respond to that thing as quick as I like. Imagine if I didn't get tagged in that post, and then like 12 hours later I see a bunch of people accusing me of, you know, condoning rape threats and all this extra shit, or saying worse. Like, I've heard it all. Like, I've had people try to accuse me of saying that I'm grooming Pearl because they're a minor and they're on GSL, or they were a minor while they were on GSL, and it's like I'm grooming them because I'm protective about them. And it's like, I'm sorry that I'm protective over my literal fucking cousin, man. Like, yeah, sorry guys, I'm protective over my blood cousin, man. Like, really I'm really sorry about that, guys. Next time when you're telling my cousin to kill themselves, and you're telling them to, you know, die, and how, you know, that they're a monkey and they're this and they're that, I'll just sit back and do nothing. My fault, man. So, you know, it's like all that shit, like it gets mentally draining, it gets mentally taxing. And a part of me sometimes questions, like, is it really my fault? Because, like, you know, when there are those instances where it's like, oh, you know, like when something repeatedly occurs to the same person, at a certain point you start thinking to yourself if you are the problem. And it's like, that's how I've been feeling with myself when it comes to me in pursuit of my content. Am I the problem? Am I genuinely the issue? Am I genuinely this horrible person that is affecting so many people negatively, and I am just driving people away from the game? Because I want people to love the game as much as I love the game, because I love the game very much. There's a reason I've been playing it since 2019, and I haven't dropped it since. It's because I truly do love the game. That's why I've been playing it so much. That's why I kept playing with it so much. Like, I do a lot of the games that I really like. But it's a matter of, like, at a certain point, like, would the community just be better off without me? Would they just blatantly be better off without it? Like, at a certain point, you know, you really start like thinking like, damn, maybe I am the problem. Maybe there's a reason why all of this shit just keeps happening to me endlessly and endlessly and endlessly and endlessly. Like, there's a reason why Persuadable came back for 3 months and dipped. Because it's like, shit, man, like, it gets to a point. And I know, like, I put on a strong front, you know, like, I can handle a lot of the shit. I got thick skin. I don't really care for the most part. But at a certain point, it does get too much. Like, it really does get too much. And sometimes I really do feel like dropping everything and just like, do I want to sacrifice myself for the game, or would I sacrifice the game for myself? And as much as I love you all as a community, as much as I really do love all of my supporters, the people that have been there for me from the jump, I really do feel majority of the time that I would rather just sacrifice the game for myself, to save me the constant need of like, oh, I gotta watch my back a little bit, you know, the constant, you know, feeling of, all right, someone who hates me is, you know, already watching my every move in the chat. Like, it was recently a thing in the IDV official server where there was people talking shit about me in the server with over 200,000 people in there, and we're like, oh, Zeus is here now, and I'm like, okay, man, like, You gotta make it your whole personality that you dislike me and just wear that shit like a badge of honor and drag it through. Mm. Like, I swear, man, like, with how these people talk about me, like, you would think that I am the next coming of Satan. Like, you would genuinely believe I am Satan incarnate. And it's like, damn, am I really this bad of a guy? Am I really just a bad human being? You know, like, how is my content, like, what am I doing wrong in my content to be perceived like this? Like, and it's like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong, because it's like, if I know I'm doing something wrong, I'm receptive to it. I just feel like I'm being me. I'm keeping it real, and that's that. And I just, like, I guess people don't like that. Like, I know it's been apparent that people don't like that, but it's like, damn, like, you motherfuckers really just want to live in a fucking bubble. And it just, you know, it gets taxing. It gets taxing on the mental. It really does. Like, it really drives you to a point, you know? Like, it really makes you like, oh, brother, another thing, another thing to deal with and worry about, you know? I don't know why this community is so hell-bent on villainizing CCs and making us, you know, look like these evil human beings. It doesn't make any sense to me, like, at all. It really doesn't. I don't know what's the necessity or the want to just feed and off this negativity. You know, it really just drives me crazy sometimes. Like, it really does. Like, it's like, huh, like, I know, like, I've had I've had countless talks with, you know, like Zeus or Vina or Pearl, Abby, and the rest of the GSL group and whatnot. And it's like, huh, like, I'm really tired of the community sometimes, man. I really am. Like, I really am tired, bro. I really do get tired of this shit, man. And it's like, I don't want to change myself just so that way then I don't need to worry about other people, like, trying to make up some new fake shit about me, you know? It just, you know, it's back to that question of, like, you know, like, do I want to sacrifice myself for the game? So do I just want to be a content creator who everyone can 95% of the time, like, you know, 95% of people can like, you know, and whatnot, you know, it's easy, you know, I just say the same shit, I say what people want to hear? Or do I want to sacrifice the game for me, like, and both the individualistic aspect where I literally just drop everything and abandon ship and just, you know, find my own zen, and in the community aspect where I am me and I am unapologetically myself regardless of the backlash, because that's who I've always been. I've always been unapologetically myself. But it just, being unapologetically yourself, it does do a lot sometimes. It really does. And I don't know where I really want to go further with my content. I don't know where I really want to go further with how I make content. Because I feel like if I start changing how I make content now, it's not me. It isn't me. It won't be me. It's not going to feel the same. It's not going to be made with, like, you know, like, my personality and my passion and my love, my frustration, my anger, my sadness, even if I ever post a video where I'm like crying my eyes out for whatever fucking reason, you know, it'll just feel generic. It'll feel robotic. It'll feel like I'm just doing it to do it, which is already how IDV is feeling for me right now. And the last thing that I want is for my passion project to turn into a chore and then I just stop doing it. And it's just a commutative buildup of all these things that keep on coming and re-coming and re-coming and re-coming and re-coming endlessly, 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 endlessly. And it's just, Jesus, man. G fucking Zeus. Even now, like right now while I'm recording this, I'm just staring at the timer right now, just looking at something. Not even looking at the cool ass new shiny S tier that I pulled. You know, I'm just staring off into the abyss, just wondering, what am I really doing? You know? What is the point of everything that I am doing? Am I really, you know, this bad of a person? Even though I just feel like I'm just passionate about the game, and I'm overly passionate about competitive. And I feel like maybe it's that overly passionate about competitive that hurts me, maybe. Not a maybe, more than likely, yeah. Because it comes off as egotistical to people, just because I'm very quick to critique. And, you know, again, people think that I'm, you know, not easy to critique, or I don't like taking critiques, even though that's not true. I'm very much open to critiques, very much open to other opinions. But I just sit here and wonder to myself, like, maybe I am the problem. Maybe it is me, you know? But maybe I really am just this evil ass human being in the community. Maybe I really am just like this crazy, like, you know, batshit guy who like is just a detriment to the community and is hurting everyone. You know? Maybe those things are true. Sometimes I genuinely do believe it. Because man, the amount of shit that I get into for literally just existing sometimes, it's like, huh, like what did I do aside from just breathe sometimes, man? Like what did I do aside from like just breathe, you know? It really does drive me to a certain point. Uh it's really it's really mind fucky. I can't lie. Really really mind fucky with how I feel about this shit. Uh I don't know, like where else do I what else do I just want to speak on? Like I'm kind of like I said, like this isn't scripted. I'm just talking into the void right now until like I just let out whatever I'm feeling out. Um yeah, I'm kind of like I'm just in this weird like I feel like I'm in a weird like liminal space right now with IDV, I guess. Like when it comes to myself, when it comes to the community, when it comes to who I am and how I am perceived in the community, you know? And that's not to say that you know, I am gonna quit, because I'm not gonna quit. I'm not quitting IDV content, because through it all I still will, you know, stick with the community, you know, regardless of, you know, how people feel about it. I guess it's just like a one thing of, you know, do I even bother anymore with like trying to reason with people a bit? Do I even bother trying to like, you know, be involved in trying to make the community better? Because I feel like the thing with me is that I always try to push for a better community, but people perceive my actions as doing the opposite with how I am when it comes to rank and how I am when it comes to competitive. And it's a thing of like, I understand being positive and I understand wanting to, you know, build a community, but we can't build a community off of lies. We can't build a community off of ingenuine emotion. Like, you're not gonna sit here and expect me to hide how I'm feeling just because it spares your feelings or other people's feelings. Like, no, that's not how it should be, because then nothing is genuine, nothing is real, nothing is built up. All we are is just, we're just stuck in the same hole. It's like, it's quite literally like how cults are kept. They just hide shit from each other, man. Like, it's crazy. That's why like IDV Twitter, IDV TikTok, you say anything like that remotely disagrees with popular opinion, and the cult is swarming you. The cult is quite literally swarming your ass, man. It's crazy. And that's why I deleted TikTok. Like, I deleted my IDV TikTok account because the people on TikTok, it's so bad. Like, those people really have nothing going on for them aside from just like doing like rage bait bullshit and like just fucking spewing like hateful shit everywhere they go. And it's like, where's the where's the accountability for those people? The same way that people jump on my ass the second I disagree with someone's opinion publicly, or I say something different. Like, where's the accountability for those people? Like, why do I keep getting, you know, jumped on and getting shit on for breathing practically, and then there are these people who are making quote unquote, you know, quote unquote rage bait by saying like the most heinous shit ever, and nobody is like, you know, like trying to like weed those people out? What makes me the guy that always needs to be put on and like spread away? What about me makes that that person, you know? What about me does that? I don't understand. I really don't. I don't know what about me makes me the evil guy, you know, the person that's like always on that. And I know that that question right there is gonna ruffle some feathers, because I know, listen, like, I'm aware that there are probably people that are who dislike me that are watching this. I know there probably are, because there are people. I know the first thing that I'm gonna see is probably there's gonna be a bunch of people that are going to be saying how I'm this and how I'm that and etc etc etc. And then I'm gonna just try and be reasonable with them, and I'm gonna try and talk to them and be like, okay, but can you understand how like I think like this because XYZ? And they're not gonna care for it. But then if I tell you, all right, then shut the fuck up and get the fuck up out of here, I'm the bad guy, you know? Like if you're gonna hate me, man, like just hate me, but don't make it your personality. Don't go out of your way to keep me in your head rent free. Like, blatantly speaking, don't go out your way to do that shit, man. Like, it's a waste of fucking time. Like, I know how this shit goes, and it just, again, it's still like, why? Like, why do I keep facing this shit? Like, at what point does it end? At what point do I just call it quits? It's just, it's really mentally taxing after a while, you know? Really, it really does get mentally taxing. And, I feel like for myself, I think maybe I might have to take a step back for a little. I don't know for sure. I don't know if I will, to be honest. I don't know what I'm really gonna do. Like I said, this video is kind of just a form of therapy that I'm just, you know, comfortable enough to share with you all. I'm just comfortable being on a, you know, a one-to-one at a heart-to-heart basis with you all, you know? This is like, there's no real purpose in this. This is just me, you know? This is just my feelings, you know, my like current thoughts, the things that are keeping me up at night, I guess, you know, my emotions that I don't really express that often, or don't really have an opportunity to express. And this is just a feeling of like how I thought about it. And I thought maybe turning it into a video would be a good way to, you know, maybe get other people to, you know, just maybe journal, get into some form of therapy, you know? Because this is the last, so far as I'm recording, the last 34 minutes and 15 seconds of this have been very therapeutic, I guess to say. You know, it has been. It has been very therapeutic. And this video kind of seems, this video is, for me, this video is like semi-pointless, because it's just nothing. Like, I practically just talk about random shit for the last like 34 minutes now. But it's something, you know? Like, I'm happy I recorded this. I'm happy that I'm still recording it. And you know, it helps to like just express and just get my emotions out there. Um, I don't really know if I have anything left to say exactly, aside from just like, you know, the Koei dragging my own personal mental of like why I think I am. What else did I talk about? The hate that I constantly receive and whatnot. Like, yeah, I don't really think I have much more to talk about aside from just I'm gonna still be here, you know? Yeah. I don't really know if I have anything else to say. Um, huh. It's just kind of an awkward, ending place, I guess, because the video still feels incomplete, you know? Like, it's still like, even though like I'm reaching the end of like just the thoughts that I can verbalize, I know I still have more to say. I just don't know how to say it, which is kind of its own form of like um conclusion, not conclusion, fuck, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I don't know the word. Fuck my life. If you know what I mean, like resolution, I think, yeah, maybe. You know, closure, that was the word, bro. Fucking hell, that was the word. Closure. This has been like some like, although we're reaching the end, it's been like some level of closure, only for a new box of shit to open up that I don't really know how to process or emotion or properly like vocalized and whatnot. Um, yeah, I don't really know like what else to say here aside from I'm still gonna be here, still gonna do content. Um, I am just trying to figure myself out now as I'm getting older and as I am you know, going on through. I also want to mention though, like, cause I forgot to mention it at the beginning, but this video is kind of like heavily inspired from like my last stream that I did. So like a lot of other things that I talk about, if I didn't already talk about in this video, are also on that stream, which I'll probably just leave in the link in the description. Like I'll clip out the minutes and whatnot, and just it'll be an auto timestamp to like where I start talking about just me and whatnot, and like what's going on. So yeah, if I didn't already mention the shit. If not, then oh well, like that's just that. I just made this video because like I said, it's a form of therapy, you know, just journaling in a sense, just talking, you know, because even though I'm not talking to someone in real life, I'm still talking to all of you. And just being able to know that I have someone that'll listen, even just to, you know, hear me out and let me express my feelings and my thoughts in a, you know, safe manner, that's enough, you know, that's something, and I appreciate all of you for that. So that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you all, you know, enjoyed it, you know, probably maybe like, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, everyone. Love you all.